Mr. Slow by Roger Hargreaves. Mr. Slow, as you might well know, or maybe you don't, lived next door to Mr. Busy. He built his house himself, slowly. It had taken him 10 years. And as you might well know, or maybe you don't, Mr. Slow talked at an extraordinary slow light. He talked like this. And every single thing he did was slow, the way he talked. For instance, if Mr. Slow was writing this book about himself, he wouldn't be able to read it yet. He wouldn't even got far as with this page. For instance, if Mr. Slow was eating a currant cake for tea, it took him before bedtime. He'd eat it crumb by crumb, currant by currant, chewing each crumb and each currant 100 times. Last Christmas, it took Mr. Slow until New Year's Day to open his Christmas presents, and it took him before Easter to write his thank you letters. Oh, he was a slow man. Now, this story is about the time Mr. Slow went on a picnic with Mr. Busy. It's another story. No, this story is about the time Mr. Slow did a good job. He read all the job advertisements on the Sunday paper, which took him until Wednesday, and then he went and got himself a job of reading the news on the television. Can you imagine? It was very embarrassing. Good evening, said Mr. Slow. Here is the 9 o'clock news. It took him until midnight to read it. And everybody who was watching went to sleep. So that job wasn't any good, wasn't it? Then Mr. Slow got himself a job as a taxi driver. Take me to the railway station. Cried Mr. Uppity as he leaped into his taxi. I have a train to catch at 3 o'clock. Right ho, said Mr. Slow, and set off at 1 mile an hour. And here at the station at 4 o'clock. So that job wasn't any good, wasn't it? And that summer, Mr. Slow got a job making ice cream. But by the time he made ice cream, it wasn't exactly the right sort of way to be selling ice cream. Brrr. So, Mr. Slow got himself a job making woolly scarves. But by the time he finished making the scarves, it wasn't exactly right sort of weather to be selling scarves. Phew. Poor Mr. Slow, he went around to ask the other Mr. Men what he could do. Be a racing driver, suggested Mr. Silly. Can you imagine? No. Be an engine driver, suggested Mr. Funny. Can you imagine? No. No. Be a speedboat driver, suggested Mr. Tickle. Can you imagine? No, no, no! But then Mr. Happy had an extremely good idea. Most sensible. Be a steamroller driver, he suggested. And today, that is exactly what Mr. Slow does. Slowly backwards and slowly forwards he drives. Up and down and up, ever so slowly. The next time you see a steamroller doing that, look and see if Mr. Slow is driving it. If he is, you shout to him, "Hello, Mr. Slow, are you having a nice time?" And he'll wave and shout back to you. "Yes, thank you." He'll shout, "Goodbye." Okay, this is not attack. It's just some weird slow comedy, guys. And what if Little Miss Fast might be a counterpart to him? Because they're both fast and they're both slow, like a snail turtle. And egads. No boy, that bummer food pussycat. Can someone fix my eyes? I think that Summer Wheeze actually forgets people. Well, like in previous videos, I tried it, and I've tried to read that one. It's really funny, and then I will do that in another video. Exactly. And wait, I think Mr. Noisy just actually get that. I think you should probably get Grover to do your helpfulness and and you bump into me. Well, I think it's some egads. I'd like a piece of meat. Oh no. I think you must have trach like a tree. Whoever did this to Bulk? Like, just not even think about this. Just positively do this to egads. Well, never mind. I'll throw this to Mr. Noisy. Ow! You fuck!